Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about Netgalley. So Netgalley is a website that you can request to get access to ARCs or advanced reader copies of books. Typically, in my experience, they've been ebooks, and I think that's primarily since the pandemic started, but I actually don't mind that because I like to read on my Kindle. And I have been requesting books probably for the last 2 years, I believe. Now you get a percentage. So your percentage is how many books you have rated versus how many you've been approved for. And the publishers are the ones doing the approval. And my percentage is pretty low. We're going to check it out in a minute when I jump onto Netgalley. So I know I need to focus on making this a better goal of mine. So my hopes today is to do a try a chapter video so that I can pick 5 books off my Netgalley list of things that I haven't read and reviewed yet, try each chapter to see which one I want to pick up next. So I have a few ideas, but once we jump on the website, we'll take a look. I'll let you know which ones I'm going to pick and then give you a little glimpse of how the first chapter, or depending, maybe first couple chapters go, and which one I'm going to pick up from there. So let's jump on a Netgalley and take a look. All right, so here we are on my Netgalley profile. So typically there's a profile picture here. I'm not sure why that's not showing up, but you can see I have a feedback ratio of 34%. So I've been approved for 79 books and sent feedback on 27 of them. So I would really like to get this ratio up. Now I get that they have a recommended feedback ratio of 80%. I have yet to meet someone that has theirs that high, but it is definitely a goal to achieve for or reach for. So we'll see if I can get there. You can list that you are an educator if you are, or otherwise I'm sure it'll put you under a certain category. You can list and add categories that you're interested in reading, as well as the topics that you're interested in, give a little bit of a bio, connect your social media. I still need to connect my Goodreads. Not sure why I haven't done that, but you can connect your Instagram and your channel if you have one. Not required. You can have a Netgalley account without any of those things, just as long as you're giving feedback to the publishers on the book that you're reading. So to find titles, you would click on Find Titles. And here you can see they're going to show you some of the most popular things that pop up. Audiobooks are actually a more recent thing. They were not a part of Netgalley when I first joined, but I really like having that option as long as the narrator is a real audio narrator and not just a robotic voice. I did get approved for one once that had a robotic voice, and I had to DNF it. I couldn't continue. That drove me absolutely crazy. But it's going to give you some suggestions of things that you might want to take a look at. I always click on most requested books and most requested audiobooks to see what people are going for. Because a lot of times, those ones are going to be popular or popular authors, and sometimes you'll get it, sometimes you won't. Now, if I click on one, I know I haven't requested this one yet, but you would click on request, and then you can tell Netgalley why you're interested in that. There is a little description down here, and then once you send in your request, it will look like this. That your request is pending, and whether or not they approve you'll get more details there. So it's kind of a cool process to get your hands on some books that you wouldn't normally otherwise before they get published. A lot of times right now it's ebooks. I am sure, like I said before, that is a pandemic thing, but that's okay. I don't mind reading on my Kindle. So if we head over here to my shelf, these are all of the books that I have been approved for on Netgalley. My favorite thing to do is to sort by publish date. So you can see right now I have 51 that still need to give feedback. The ones that I've sent feedback on are up here, and anything that I have not been approved for would be under not active. But I like to sort by publish date. And in this case, it's going to sort it by the ones that are the furthest away from the published date. So the ones that I applied for right when I first got on Netgalley. I made the mistake of requesting a lot of things, and I got approved for them all right away, which I did not think that would happen, and which is why now I have 51 books that I need to review. So as I scroll through here, I do have a couple picked out that I want to do this try a chapter for. The first one is Even If We Break by Marieke, Nijkamp. I had to look up how to pronounce her name. She is Dutch. She is one of my favorite authors, YA-wise, to read. So I'm hoping to pick that one up, especially since it came out almost 2 years ago. So I need to get on that one. And as I'm scrolling through here, you can see the multiple pages that I have. I really have some work I need to do. The second one I picked out is The Therapist. I was approved for both the ebook and the audiobook of that, so I thought that would be a great one to give a try and hopefully pick up, and that would knock off actually two of my Netgalley books, so that would be kind of one that I'm interested in trying out and seeing if I like it. The third I picked is Bad Luck Bridesmaid. I thought this would be different than the other two I picked. The first one is YA, second one more thriller, so I thought this one would be something light to pick up, and that one only came out in January, so I wouldn't be too far behind in getting a review on that one. And then I thought I would jump to my most recent pages to pick something out here. Now, I am currently listening and reading The Bodyguard, so I know I'll have that one done before its release date, but then I thought I would pick up Thank You for Listening. It's actually written by Julia Whelan, who is one of my favorite audiobook authors. So I thought it would be interesting to read the book that she wrote. And then I thought I would pick up Stay Awake by Megan Goldin. I have read a book by her before, and I want to try a chapter in this one to see if it's something I want to pick up in hopes that I would get it done before the August release date. So those are the ones that I want to take a look at. Try a chapter in each, or relatively maybe a few chapters, see if it's something that I want to currently pick up in hopes that I can bring up that approval rate on my Netgalley. All right, excuse my appearance. I'm just about to head to the gym, but I just finished chapter 1 of Even If We Break. Now, I didn't go into this one knowing anything, and so far it seems like these friends are hiking to a cabin, and after I peeked at the summary, it looks like it's going to be 5 friends that are going to play this murder mystery game. The one thing I am really excited about is it's going to be in multiple perspectives. So I'm thinking every chapter is going to change characters. So far so good. I think I'm going to continue on with this one at least for a couple more chapters to see the different perspectives of the characters, but so far so good. So just checking in after I have read the introduction and the first chapter of The Therapist. I learned a Netgalley mistake today. I had sent the audiobook to my Netgalley app, but I never actually downloaded it. So it is now archived and gone. So I will only be able to read the book on my Kindle because it was already sent there. But so far so good. I can see that there is a couple who have been dating long distance and are now just moving in together in what appears to be like a small street or cul-de-sac, and they're hoping to get to know their neighbors because they just moved in, and that's kind of what they do. So I am sure things are going to ensue, and it wasn't enough to like hook me, but I'm intrigued and I'd like to keep reading more. So we'll see which one of these I pick up. All right, I just read the first 2 chapters of Bad Luck Bridesmaid, Alison Rose Greenburg, and I am loving this writing so far. The humor is hilarious. It kind of sounds like the premise is this woman has been a bridesmaid in 3 weddings, but none of the weddings have actually been successful or actually happened. So I had to read 2 chapters because the first one was super short, but I think I'm really gonna like this character. The writing is easy to read and funny, and she's already caught one of the grooms enjoying his ex-girlfriend at the engagement party. So I can only imagine what other stories are gonna happen, and I'm looking forward to this one. So this one might be the one I choose. So I'm coming to you a few days later. I actually ended up picking up the audiobook for Even If We Break, which was the YA book that I was previewing for my Netgalley, and sad to say I'm a little bit disappointed. There is so much great representation in this book with different youth and things that they are dealing with. But it almost felt like it was too much. There were only 5 characters, and the amount of representation in each of these characters is realistic for sure, and I don't want to say that it isn't. I just found it really hard to keep all the characters straight, and then on top of it, they're doing some live action role playing in a game that they're in, and it just made it all too confusing for me. So just wanted to give that update. I'm still going to take a look at the 2 other books that I'm going to preview, and I'll let you know how that goes. All right, I just finished the first chapter of Thank You for Listening, which is by Julia Whelan, who is one of my favorite audiobook narrators. And ironically, her main character in here is an audiobook narrator. So I'm curious to maybe do some research on how well connected the stories are, if it's kind of more of like a true life. And she's on her way to Vegas to do BiblioCon in the romance sector, which is not what she normally does. So I'm interested. Don't know if this will be officially the one that I pick up out of these last couple, but we'll see where it goes. All right, I just read the first couple chapters of Stay Awake by Megan Goldin. Now, I've read a book by her before, The Night Swim, I believe, which had a podcast element in it, and I really liked it. So far, I'm really into these chapters. A woman basically shows up to her old apartment and realizes she doesn't live there anymore. And she's got all these words written all over her hands, and she doesn't know why they're there. So I'm kind of at this standstill, but I really think that this will be one that I pick up. I have a vacation coming up in a week, and so I'm thinking out of the 5 books I previewed, I will probably end up having plan on reading 2 of them. They're on my Kindle, so they'll all be with me. But I am thinking that I will read Stay Awake by Megan Goldin, so I can get that one done before the release date in August. And I really liked the writing of Bad Luck Bridesmaids, so I think those will be the 2 that I definitely pick up after doing this triad chapter. I guess you'll have to wait and see for some of my monthly wrap-ups to see what my thoughts were on them, but I think those will be 2 great books on kind of opposite ends of the genre spectrum to add to my vacation reading list. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed kind of this triad chapter along with previewing some of my Netgalley shelves, and hopefully you like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.